Not getting what you deserve is frustrating. But what's more frustrating than not getting what you deserve? Getting what you don't deserve. I had to fight my way back into my middle and youngest son's life. But somehow, my youngest treated me like a villain. Have your heroics ever been villainized? What'd you do with that frustration? I let mine show on my face, and I fussed at him a little, but I held back. And I call that being patient. Haven't you silently sacrificed? You did your part, so they should do theirs. They owe you that much. But a 4-year-old taught me something about roles and expectations. What it do, yay? I'm Joseph like Jesus daddy, but my friends call me Joe. This is how I FAFO'd that patience isn't waiting. I know most people believe that, and they also believe this about patience. It's a positive and passive response to a negative behavior. But I found that patience isn't laid back. It's more active. I know you got people that's dependent on you. Your role is to lead them, guide them, play with them, provide for them, and they should naturally fall in line. But have you ever put yourself in their shoes? Do you understand their perspective of you? It took me about a year to get visitation rights, or at least temporary visitation rights, for my middle and youngest son. When I finally was able to pick them up, I pulled up, they came out the house, we rushed and gave each other hugs. In the car, we played catch up and told each other that we missed each other. Later on that night, my youngest son showed me little acts of defiance. I had to call him multiple times to get his attention. He wouldn't look me in the eye, and at some point, he just walked out in the middle of me talking to him. My blood began to boil because how dare you act like that with your dad? I'm your dad. You're supposed to listen. Do you not know what I did for you to be here? And that's kind of what roles do. Roles have certain expectations that we have for ourselves and for the people that we interact with in their roles. But just because that's your role and that's their role doesn't mean they automatically act accordingly. But it doesn't work like that. And why doesn't it? Because of how you're present. You can be present with your provisions and guidance. You can be present and play with them, but you also have to be present with your patience. What is patience? Empathy. And empathy is what? Putting yourself in someone else's shoes. When I took the time out to think about why he could be looking at me as the villain, what could I have possibly done? I realized it was a whole year apart, especially at a certain age. And he doesn't realize what my role is, and he doesn't realize what his role is neither. And once I put myself in his shoes, I started to actually feel what he felt. And I knew it was something that I needed to do. Have you ever had empathy for somebody? How did you address and take accountability? Because that's another form of patience, taking accountability. In anything that happens, any circumstances that's involving you, you played a part in it some form of fashion. I realized how I played a part in my villain story. Because of the distance between where I live and my children live, it's about an hour car ride. So when I picked them up from school, I decided this was the perfect time to take accountability. There's not many distractions. I can have their undivided attention, and we got plenty time to do so. I began to ask them certain questions because you don't tell anybody shit. You ask them questions to help them realize it. I asked questions and they gave me answers. I told them that their mom might still be mad at me and hurt for something that I did when we were together. I had to take accountability for what I did, and taking accountability was me admitting to my sons when we were together, I cheated on their mom. And that's why she's mad at me. You can't just be one-sided. When you only share one side of the perspective, you're making people choose between what they believe is right and what is wrong. That doesn't work. Your team needs your guidance, but you also need to understand your team as well. Your partner, you might need to share some perspective, and your partner won't be receptive if you can't take accountability. They asked me all the questions because I made sure they can ask me all the questions, and they told me they understood. Later on that day, it was a complete 180. He ran up on me and started giving me hugs. He told me he loved me. He kept eye contact. I realized this: patience is presence through empathy. Empathy is you taking accountability, having an understanding for not just what they feel, but why they feel it. It's showing up for them through understanding. Since then, our relationship continues to grow because I've learned how to have and use empathy. And empathy is why I speak to people. If you know anybody that needs a little lesson in patience, do two things. Tell me who needs it and share it with that person. I need you to also hype this up, hype this up, hype this up. And if you haven't by now, and you keep finding this entertaining, valuable, go ahead and subscribe. Today, we fucked around and found out that patience isn't just waiting, it's active. It's presence through empathy. I'm Joseph like Jesus Daddy, but my friends call me Joe. You know I got that gas, so I need to ask you this. What happens when patience is tested? I got that gas. Yes, I do.